Okay, so you're looking for real estate advice.
But not the same old tips about which neighborhood is hot right now.
Right.
You want to know how to invest and plan for the future.
Like really long term.
2030 and beyond.
With all this talk about AI, robots,
And even the singularity.
it's understandable if you're feeling a little lost.
It's true. The real estate world is changing faster than ever.
And it can be tough to keep up.
But don't worry.
You've come to the right place.
For a deep dive into the future
We've got some fascinating sources here.
that explore how tech, global trends, and even the potential singularity could reshape the market.
And most importantly,
We'll help you figure out how to make smart decisions.
about your own investments and plans.
We'll even touch on how the 2008 crash shaped the market today.
Oh, yeah,
Because those lessons are still incredibly relevant.
absolutely.
It's all about equipping you with the knowledge.
To make informed choices.
And maybe even find that ideal spot.
That offers both financial security and a lifestyle that aligns with your values.
Okay, let's rewind to 2008 for a second.
Remember the crash.
Subprime mortgages, predatory lending.
And all those complicated financial derivatives.
It was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
It definitely exposed some major vulnerabilities in the system.
So what happened next?
Well, the good news is that the market has recovered.
That's good.
And new technologies, like blockchain,
Oh, blocks.
are emerging to make things more transparent and secure.
So how does that work?
For example, blockchain can help streamline property transactions,
Oh,
reduce fraud,
gotcha.
and make it easier for you to verify ownership history.
So blockchain could make investing in real estate less risky and more accessible for everyday people.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's just one example of how technology is changing the game.
All right. So what else?
Now let's shift gears
Okay.
and talk about those tech hubs
Yeah, those tech hubs.
that are attracting so much attention.
All right, we hear a lot about Silicon Valley.
But our sources suggest that Europe is becoming a major player in the tech world.
Europe?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Cities like London, Paris, and Berlin
Those are big cities.
are attracting massive investments and creating tons of job opportunities.
Okay.
London is a powerhouse in fintech,
Fintech.
which basically means finance and technology combined.
Okay.
They've got companies like Revolut and Wise
I've heard of those.
that are revolutionizing the way we bank and invest.
Whoa.
And Paris is becoming a hub for AI and big data.
Yeah, I think I read something about that.
Exactly. They're attracting major players in those fields.
What about the smaller companies?
But it's not just the big names that are thriving.
Oh, okay.
These cities also have vibrant startup scenes,
Startups.
which means there's a lot of room for innovation and growth.
So there's opportunity for everyone.
From seasoned professionals to aspiring entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Precisely.
So you don't have to sacrifice lifestyle for a thriving tech career.
And here's the thing.
Okay.
These cities aren't just about work.
All right.
They offer a fantastic quality of life
What does that mean?
with rich cultures,
I see.
great food,
Yeah.
and plenty to see and do.
So you don't have to sacrifice lifestyle for a thriving tech career.
Exactly.
It's all about finding that balance.
Now, let's talk about something that's really captured everyone's imagination.
Okay.
The rise of AI and robots.
The robots.
How will these technologies change real estate?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. So how will they?
One thing that's already happening is that AI is being used to analyze market trends,
Okay.
predict property values, and even personalize recommendations for buyers and sellers.
But like a real estate agent, but AI.
Imagine searching for your dream home,
Okay.
and AI helps you find it
Based on what?
based on your preferences,
Makes sense.
budget,
Okay.
and lifestyle. That would save so much time and hassle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was that all.
And it goes beyond just finding the right property.
Oh,
AI can also make buildings smarter
smarter buildings.
by monitoring maintenance needs,
Okay,
optimizing energy consumption,
gotcha.
and even enhancing security.
So AI could potentially make our lives easier and our homes more efficient.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing.
But it also raises some important questions
Uh-oh, like what?
about the future of work
I see.
and the skills that will be most valuable in a world where AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated.
That's a great point, and we'll definitely delve deeper into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
But for now,
Sounds good.
let's address something that's probably on your mind.
Okay.
With all this talk about tech hubs and AI, is it even worth investing in big cities anymore? What if you want to escape the hustle and bustle
Yeah, the hustle and bustle.
and find more financial freedom?
That's a question a lot of people are asking,
So what do our sources say?
especially as remote work becomes more commonplace.
Makes sense.
Our sources suggest that alternative living options are gaining popularity.
Alternative living.
For good reason.
Okay.
People are realizing that there's more to life than the rat race,
I think we all know that.
and they're seeking out places that offer a better quality of life.
So what are some of these alternative options?
Well, think about rural communities
Okay.
where you can enjoy peace and quiet,
Sounds nice.
a slower pace of life,
Definitely appealing.
and a lower cost of living.
Yeah, that's important.
It sounds idyllic.
It does. But what about access to jobs and amenities?
That's where remote work comes in.
Ah, right.
If you can work from anywhere,
Which more people can these days.
why not choose a location that aligns with your values
Okay.
and your desire for a more peaceful existence?
I can definitely see the appeal.
But of course, it's important to research carefully
Oh, of course.
and make sure the location you're considering has the infrastructure and resources you need.
So things like reliable internet, healthcare facilities,
Exactly.
and schools if you have children.
Exactly.
And you need to be prepared for a more isolated lifestyle.
And you need to be prepared for a more isolated lifestyle.
Right.
Rural communities often have smaller populations and fewer social events.
So it's important to be comfortable with a slower pace of life and more self-sufficiency.
It certainly is.
But for those who crave tranquility and a sense of community,
Rural living can be incredibly rewarding.
that sounds like it.
Now let's talk about co-living spaces,
Co-living spaces.
which offer a unique blend of community,
Okay.
affordability,
Got it.
and flexibility.
So it's like a modern take on communal living.
In many ways, it is.
Okay.
Co-living spaces typically offer private bedrooms
So you still have your privacy.
with shared living areas,
Like what?
such as kitchens, dining rooms,
Makes sense.
and workspaces.
So you get to enjoy your own space while also having the opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And many co-living spaces also organize social events and activities,
Like what kind of events?
which makes it easy to build a sense of community.
That sounds appealing.
It is. But what about the cost of co-living?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is it really more affordable than renting an apartment on your own? It can be.
Okay,
Co-living spaces often have lower rents than traditional apartments.
I see.
And you also benefit from shared resources and amenities,
Like what?
which can save you money.
So you're essentially splitting the cost of living with others.
Precisely.
Oh.
And many co-living spaces offer flexible lease terms,
Flexible leases.
which is ideal for those who value modernity
Ah, right.
and don't want to be tied down to a long-term contract.
That's a huge plus for digital nomads and remote workers.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where can you find these places?
And co-living spaces can be found in a variety of locations.
Really? From bustling cities
Okay.
to quiet suburbs
Interesting.
and even rural areas,
So there's a co-living option for everyone.
regardless of their location preferences.
Oh, this is all so fascinating.
That's right.
I feel like I'm starting to see the future of real estate taking shape.
And as the co-living trend continues to evolve,
Okay.
we're likely to see even more innovative and specialized models emerge.
That's really exciting.
It is. It's an exciting time to be exploring these new possibilities.
Yeah.
And with careful consideration and a bit of adventurous spirit.
Definitely need that adventurous spirit.
You can find the perfect living arrangement that aligns with your values, your lifestyle, and your aspirations for the future.
I love that. So we've got tech hubs, rural communities, and co-living spaces.
It seems like there are more options than ever when it comes to real estate.
Exactly.
And with the singularity potentially on the horizon,
The singularity, wow.
we can only imagine what kind of innovative living arrangements will emerge in the future. It's a fascinating time to be alive, and the future of real estate is full of possibilities.
It is.
But before we get too carried away,
Let's take a closer look at some of these alternative options and see what they really entail.
sounds like a good plan.
You're listening to Echoes of Insight, where we dive deep into the topics shaping our world, from the planet and politics to health, consciousness, economy, and alternative lifestyles. If you're enjoying the journey, make sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others who love exploring new perspectives.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the future of real estate.
Last time, we talked about the big picture trends.
Like the 2008 crash,
Yeah, that was a big one.
the rise of tech hubs,
Right, tech hubs.
and the potential impact of AI.
But now, I'm really excited to zoom in on those tech hubs.
Okay, let's get specific.
See what makes them tick.
We briefly mentioned London, Paris, and Berlin.
Right.
But there are so many other cities around the world
Really?
that are becoming hotspots for tech innovation and talent.
Interesting.
And what's really interesting
Okay, what is it?
is that these cities aren't just attracting techies.
Okay.
They're offering a whole package.
What kind of package?
A unique blend of lifestyle,
Uh-huh.
affordability,
That's important.
and opportunity that's hard to find elsewhere.
So it's not just about chasing the highest salary anymore.
Exactly. It's about finding a place,
That aligns with your values.
your passions, and your vision for the future.
Sounds good. So where should we start?
So let's start with a city that's often called Silicon Hills.
Silicon Hills?
Austin, Texas.
Austin. I've heard so much about its vibrant tech scene
Yes.
and its laid-back atmosphere.
It's true.
So what's the real story?
Well, Austin has definitely become a magnet
For
for tech giants.
Okay, like,
Apple, Google, and Tesla.
wow, big names.
But it's also home to a thriving startup ecosystem.
So are there opportunities there?
So whether you're a seasoned professional
Okay,
or just starting out in tech,
okay.
there's a place for you in Austin.
And I hear it's much more affordable
Yes.
than places like San Francisco or New York.
That's a big draw for a lot of people,
I can imagine.
especially those who are just starting their tech careers.
Or maybe looking for a better work-life balance.
Right.
And let's not forget about Austin's legendary music scene.
Oh, yeah, the music.
It's incredible food,
I do love good food.
and its abundance of outdoor activities.
It sounds like the perfect blend of work and play.
It really does.
But what about the weather?
Ah, yes.
I've heard it can get pretty hot in Texas.
Summers in Austin can be scorching.
Oh, no.
It's true.
Okay.
But the city makes up for it with mild winters
Okay.
and plenty of sunshine throughout the year.
So you can still enjoy the outdoors.
So you can enjoy outdoor activities year-round.
That's good.
And people in Austin are known for being friendly and welcoming.
That's important.
So it's easy to feel at home.
Okay, Austin is definitely going on my list of places to check out.
Sounds good.
But let's hop across the pond for a moment
Okay.
and explore another tech hub that's making waves.
Okay. Where to?
Helsinki, Finland.
Helsinki is a fascinating city.
What makes it so fascinating? It's known for its innovative approach to technology,
Okay.
its strong commitment to sustainability,
Interesting.
and its incredibly high quality of life.
Now that's something I'm interested in.
You should be.
I've heard that Helsinki consistently ranks.
As one of the most livable cities in the world.
Wow, the most livable.
That's right.
Okay.
It scores high in global surveys
Forward.
for its safety,
Okay.
cleanliness,
That's good.
and access to nature.
That sounds great.
But it's also a powerhouse when it comes to tech.
So what makes Helsinki's tech scene stand out?
Helsinki has a strong focus on research and development, and it's home to a growing number of tech startups and companies,
Okay. In what areas?
particularly in the gaming and mobile technology sectors.
So they're really pushing the boundaries of innovation
They are.
in those areas.
It sounds like a great place for those who are interested in cutting-edge technologies.
It does. But what about the cost of living?
Ah, yes.
Is it comparable to other European cities?
Helsinki can be a bit pricey,
Okay.
especially when it comes to housing.
Right. Housing is always a big expense.
But it's important to remember
Okay, what's important?
that you get a lot in return.
Oh, okay.
The city has an excellent public transportation system,
Okay, that's good.
universal health care,
That's a big one.
and a high quality of education.
So it's an investment in your overall well-being.
Exactly.
And what about access to nature?
And for those who value a balanced lifestyle,
Yeah.
Helsinki offers an abundance of parks,
Okay.
forests,
Nice.
and waterfront areas.
So you're never far from nature.
You're never far from nature.
It sounds like a true urban oasis.
It does.
Helsinki is definitely on my radar now.
Great.
But let's head back to the United States for a moment
Okay. Back to the U.S.
and explore a tech hub that often flies under the radar.
Under the radar. Interesting.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
It's known as the Rocket City
Ah, Rocket City.
because of its history in aerospace engineering,
Right.
but it's rapidly becoming a hub.
For other exciting fields,
Like what?
like cybersecurity,
Oh, that's a hot field.
biotechnology,
Interesting.
and information technology.
So it's a great place for those with a STEM background.
Absolutely.
Okay. And is it expensive to live there?
And one of the biggest draws of Huntsville is its affordability.
Affordability, okay.
The cost of living
Yeah.
is significantly lower than in other major tech hubs,
So it's more affordable.
which makes it a great option for families
Okay.
and those looking to stretch their budget.
That's always a plus.
It is.
But what about the lifestyle in Huntsville? What does the city have to offer beyond jobs?
Huntsville has a charming downtown area
Okay.
with a growing arts and culture scene.
Okay, so there's more to do than just work.
It's also surrounded by beautiful mountains and lakes,
Mountains and lakes.
which provide plenty of opportunities for outdoor recreation.
So you can enjoy the best of both worlds.
City life and access to nature.
Exactly. And is it a welcoming place?
And Huntsville also boasts a diverse and welcoming community.
That's good.
It's a place where you can feel at home and build a fulfilling life.
Okay, Huntsville is officially on my list of tech hubs to explore.
Great addition.
But I can't talk about Tech Hub.
Without mentioning the one that started it all.
Ah, yes. The OG Tech Hub.
San Francisco, California.
San Francisco is the birthplace of Silicon Valley,
Right.
and it remains a global center for innovation and entrepreneurship.
And it's a dream destination for many tech professionals.
It is, but it's also known for being incredibly expensive.
That's true.
Is it really that bad?
San Francisco is one of the most expensive cities in the world.
Wow, one of the most expensive.
The cost of living
Yeah.
can be a major barrier for many people,
So it's not for everyone.
but for those who can afford it.
Okay, for the lucky few.
San Francisco offers unparalleled opportunities and a truly unique lifestyle
So what makes San Francisco so special?
beyond the tech scene.
Yeah, beyond the tech scene.
San Francisco is a city of contrasts.
Okay.
You have the bustling tech scene in Silicon Valley,
Uh-huh.
but also the bohemian charm of neighborhoods like Haight-Ashbury.
Ashburn.
And of course, there's the iconic Golden Gate Bridge
The Golden Gate Bridge.
and the city's stunning waterfront.
It's a place that's constantly evolving and surprising you.
It really is.
It sounds like a city that demands your attention.
It does.
But it's important to weigh the pros and cons carefully.
Absolutely.
So what are the cons?
And it's worth noting that with the rise of remote work,
Oh, right, remote work.
many tech professionals are choosing to live in more affordable locations
Makes sense.
while still working for companies based in San Francisco.
So it's possible to have the best of both worlds.
It is.
Access to the opportunities of Silicon Valley without the sky-high rent.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
And that's a trend that's likely to continue.
Okay. Why is that?
As technology makes it easier to work from anywhere.
This has been such an incredible tour of some of the world's most exciting tech hubs.
It has.
From the affordability of Huntsville to the innovation of Helsinki
Yeah.
and the dynamism of Austin.
True.
It's clear that there's a tech city out there for everyone.
And as technology continues to evolve,
Okay.
we're likely to see even more cities emerge as tech hotspots,
So there are even more options on the horizon.
offering unique opportunities and challenges.
It's an exciting time to be a tech-savvy individual.
It is.
The world is your oyster.
It really is.
But before you pack your bags and head to the nearest tech hub,
Right.
let's take a moment to consider the financial and emotional implications
Okay, that's important.
of these life-changing decisions.
That's a crucial point.
It is. What should we think about?
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new opportunity.
Right, the excitement of a new city.
But it's important to plan carefully and make sure you're prepared for the challenges that lie ahead.
So what are some key factors to consider when evaluating a potential move to a tech hub?
Both financially and emotionally.
Yeah, both financially and emotionally.
Financially, you need to factor in the cost of living,
Uh-huh.
housing prices,
Right, those can be crazy.
and potential salary differences.
Okay.
Right? It's not just about the salary you're offered.
It's not.
It's about how far that salary will go in a new city.
Exactly. What else should we consider?
You also need to consider the job market
The job market, right?
and the competition for tech talent in your field.
Okay.
Make sure there are enough opportunities to support your career growth.
That's a good point. And what about the other expenses?
And don't forget about things like healthcare,
Yeah, healthcare.
transportation,
Right.
and other essential expenses.
Those can add up quickly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we've covered the financial side.
Now, on the emotional side,
Okay, emotional side.
You're listening to Echoes of Insight, where we dive deep into the topics shaping our world, from the planet and politics to health, consciousness, economy, and alternative lifestyles. If you're enjoying the journey, Make sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others who love exploring new perspectives.
You need to be prepared for the challenges of moving to a new city,
Oh, yeah, that could be tough.
adapting to a new culture,
Right, new culture.
and building a new support system.
It could be tough to leave behind friends, family,
It certainly can.
and familiar surroundings.
And it takes time and effort
To do what?
to build new connections
Okay,
and create a sense of belonging in a new place.
so give yourself some time.
Yes. And what about the potential impact on mental health?
Oh, that's a good point.
Moving to a fast-paced, competitive environment
Right.
can be stressful.
It can be. So how do you deal with that?
That's a valid concern.
It is.
It's important to prioritize self-care,
Okay, self-care.
seek support when needed,
Yeah, ask for help.
and maintain a healthy work-life balance.
So it's not just about chasing career success.
Exactly.
It's about taking care of your overall well-being.
Exactly.
And does every city have the same vibe?
And remember that every tech hub has its own unique culture and vibe.
Okay.
It's important to find a place that aligns with your personality and values.
So it's about finding a city that feels like home,
Exactly.
not just a place to work.
With careful planning and a positive mindset.
Right. Stay positive.
Moving to a tech hub can be an incredible opportunity for growth,
Growth in what ways?
both professionally and personally.
This has been such an insightful discussion.
It has.
I feel much more equipped to navigate the world of tech hubs
That's good to hear.
and make informed decisions about my future.
Me too. It's been a fascinating journey.
It has.
And I'm excited to see what the future holds for tech-savvy individuals like yourself.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Right. Let's take a step back.
let's dive into some alternative living options.
Alternative living options.
Okay. That might be appealing for those who aren't drawn to the hustle and bustle of big cities.
That's a great idea.
It is. What will we talk about?
We touched on rural communities and co-living spaces earlier,
Right.
but let's explore those options in more detail.
Okay.
And see what makes them so compelling.
I'm intrigued. Let's start with rural living.
Okay, rural living.
It's a world away from the tech hubs we've been discussing,
It is.
offering a slower pace of life,
Uh-huh.
more space,
Yes.
and often a lower cost of living.
It sounds idyllic.
It does. But what about access to jobs and amenities?
That's where remote work comes in.
Ah, right. Remote work.
If you can work from anywhere,
Yeah.
why not choose a location that aligns with your values
Okay.
and your desire for a more peaceful existence?
I can see the appeal.
But of course, it's important to research carefully
Of course.
and make sure the location you're considering has the infrastructure and resources you need.
So things like reliable internet,
Yes.
healthcare facilities,
Exactly.
and schools if you have children.
Exactly.
And you need to be prepared for a more isolated lifestyle.
That's
Okay. So less hustle and bustle.
rural communities often have smaller populations and fewer social events.
So it's important to be comfortable with a slower pace of life
It is.
and more self-sufficiency.
It certainly is.
But for those who crave tranquility and a sense of community,
Rural living can be incredibly rewarding.
I can imagine. And is it always more affordable?
And what about the financial aspects of rural living?
Right, the financial side.
Is it really more affordable than living in a city?
I mean, it sounds like it.
It can be.
Okay,
Housing prices are generally lower in rural areas.
that makes sense.
But you also need to factor in the cost of transportation,
Why transportation?
as you'll likely need a car to get around.
Right, a car.
And depending on your career,
Yeah,
you may need to travel to a city for work occasionally.
that's true. But with careful planning and budgeting.
Rural living can be a financially viable option.
Okay, good to know.
Now let's talk about co-living spaces,
Oh, right. Co-living spaces.
which offer a unique blend of community,
Okay.
affordability,
Yeah.
and flexibility.
So it's like a modern take on communal living.
In many ways, it is.
Okay. What does that look like?
Co-living spaces typically offer private bedrooms
Okay, so you have your own space
with shared living areas,
of a kind of shared areas.
such as kitchens,
Okay.
dining rooms,
All right.
and workspaces.
So you get to enjoy your own space
Exactly.
while also having the opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty appealing.
It is.
But what about the social side?
And many co-living spaces also organize social events and activities,
Okay, like what?
which makes it easy to build a sense of community.
That's great.
It is.
But is it really more affordable?
But what about the cost of co-living?
Right, the cost.
Is it really more affordable than renting an apartment on your own?
It can be.
Okay. In what ways?
Co-living spaces often have lower rents than traditional apartments.
Okay. And you also benefit from shared resources and amenities,
Like what?
which can save you money.
So you're essentially splitting the cost of living with others.
Precisely.
Okay.
And many co-living spaces offer flexible lease terms,
Flexible lease terms. That's good.
which is ideal for those who value mobility
Okay.
and don't want to be tied down to a long-term contract.
That's a huge plus for digital nomads and remote workers.
Absolutely.
Okay. And are they everywhere?
And co-living spaces can be found in a variety of locations.
Oh, like where?
From bustling cities
Okay.
to quiet suburbs and even rural areas,
So there's a co-living option for everyone.
regardless of their location preferences.
That's right. And as the co-living trend continues to evolve.
Yeah, we're likely to see even more innovative and specialized models emerge.
This is all so fascinating.
It is.
I feel like I'm starting to see the future of real estate taking shape.
It's an exciting time to be exploring these new possibilities.
It is.
And with careful consideration. That's right. And a bit of adventurous spirit.
Gotta have that spirit
You can find the perfect living arrangement,
that aligns with your values.
your lifestyle,
Uh-huh.
and your aspirations for the future.
Okay, I'm ready to embrace the future of real estate.
It's out there waiting.
But before we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive,
Okay.
let's take a moment to reflect on the emotional and psychological implications.
That's an essential aspect that often gets overlooked.
It is.
Moving to a new city,
Right.
embracing a new lifestyle,
Uh,
or even just changing your living arrangement
yeah.
can have a profound impact on your mental and emotional well-being.
So it's not just about the practical logistics.
Right?
It's about preparing yourself for the emotional journey
Exactly.
that comes with making these big decisions.
And it's important to acknowledge
Okay, what is it?
that change
Even positive change.
can be stressful.
It can be. So
Yeah.
how do you deal with that?
So what are some key things to keep in mind as you navigate these transitions?
I'm all ears.
First and foremost,
Okay.
be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself. Okay.
It's okay to feel overwhelmed,
Yeah.
anxious,
Uh-huh.
or even a bit scared.
It's a natural response to change.
Absolutely.
What else should we remember?
And don't be afraid to reach out for support.
Reach out, okay?
Talk to friends,
Friends.
family.
Or a therapist if you need someone to process your feelings with.
Having a strong support system is crucial during times of transition.
It certainly is.
And doesn't happen overnight.
And remember
Okay.
that it takes time to adjust to a new environment and build new connections.
So don't expect to feel settled in right away.
Exactly.
Give yourself some time.
Yes.
To do what?
To explore.
Okay.
Get to know your surroundings.
Yeah.
And find your tribe.
And what about leaving people behind?
And what about the challenge of leaving behind familiar places and people?
That can be really tough.
It can.
It certainly can.
So what can you do?
But remember that technology makes it easier than ever to stay connected with loved ones who are far away.
Right. Technology.
So video calls,
Video calls.
social media,
Right.
and even virtual reality can help bridge the distance.
So there are ways to stay connected.
Exactly.
What else can help?
And don't underestimate the power of creating new rituals and routines in your new environment.
Like what kind of rituals?
So finding a favorite coffee shop,
Ah, a coffee shop ritual.
joining a local club,
Okay.
or simply exploring your neighborhood
So get out there and explore.
can help you feel more grounded.
And remember,
Absolutely.
that change can be an incredible opportunity for growth and self-discovery.
It's a chance to step outside your comfort zone,
Okay.
try new things,
Yeah.
and expand your horizons.
I like that.
Exactly. And by embracing the challenges and opportunities that come with change, you can create a life that's both fulfilling and meaningful.
This has been such an insightful and inspiring conversation.
Yes.
I feel like I have a much better understanding of the emotional and psychological aspects of these life-changing decisions.
Me too.
And I hope that our listeners feel more empowered
To do what?
to navigate these transitions with confidence and grace.
But before we sign off for part 2 of our deep dive,
Right?
let's tease what's coming up in part 3.
Oh, a little teaser. Okay, what is it?
In part 3, we'll explore the potential of the singularity
The singularity.
and what it means for the future of real estate
Okay.
and humanity as a whole.
Wow. That's big.
It is.
So what will we learn?
We'll delve into the ethical considerations of AI, the impact automation on the job market, and the possibilities of transhumanism.
Transhumanism, that's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a mind-bending journey into the unknown.
A mind-bending journey. I'm ready.
So buckle up and get ready for an exploration of the most profound questions
Facing humanity in the 21st century.
Join us for part 3, where we'll continue our deep dive into the future of real estate.
Until then,
Stay curious,
stay open-minded,
and embrace the possibilities that lie ahead.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the future of real estate.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. From the lessons of the 2008 crash.
To the rise of tech hubs and alternative living options.
Right.
But now it's time to face the ultimate frontier.
Okay, what's that?
The singularity.
The singularity.
That's right. That moment when artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence.
And everything changes.
I have to admit.
It's a bit mind-boggling to think about.
It is.
Yeah. So where do we even begin?
It's a concept that sparks both excitement and anxiety.
Okay.
We don't know exactly what will happen.
Right. Nobody knows the future.
But we can explore the possibilities.
Okay. I like possibilities.
And consider what it might mean for the future of real estate. And humanity itself.
So let's start with the big question.
Okay, hit me.
How will AI and automation reshape the job market?
Okay.
And how will those changes affect where people choose to live and work?
As AI becomes more sophisticated, it has the potential to automate a wide range of tasks.
Like what kind of tasks?
From data analysis to customer service to even creative endeavors.
So is it true that robots are going to steal all our jobs?
And leave us with nothing to do?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Okay, that's good.
While some jobs will undoubtedly be displaced by AI, it's also likely to create new opportunities in industries that we can't even imagine yet.
So it's not a case of humans versus robots.
But rather humans and robots working together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do we prepare for that?
The key is to adapt.
Adapt.
And focus on developing skills that complement AI.
Such as?
Such as creativity.
Creativity.
Critical thinking.
Right.
And emotional intelligence.
These are skills that robots haven't mastered yet.
Exactly.
And they'll be essential in the future job market.
Right. And as the job market evolves,
okay,
we'll probably see a shift towards more remote work and freelance opportunities.
Giving people greater flexibility in terms of where they live.
Absolutely.
So no more commuting.
The traditional model of commuting to an office every day may become a thing of the past.
Wow.
This could have a profound impact on the real estate market.
In what way?
As people become less tied to specific locations for work.
Imagine being able to live in a peaceful rural community.
Or a vibrant tech hub.
And still have access to fulfilling and well-paying jobs.
That's really empowering.
It is.
It opens up a world of possibilities.
Yeah, I like possibilities. But with all this new technology.
But as with any major technological advancement, there are also ethical considerations to address.
Okay. Like what?
As AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
One of the biggest concerns is the potential for bias in AI algorithms.
That's a big one.
It is. How so?
If AI is used to make decisions about things like loan approvals.
Okay. Loan approvals.
Hiring practices.
Gotcha.
Or even real estate valuation.
Real estate valuations. Okay.
It could inadvertently perpetuate existing inequalities.
So we need to be careful about how we use it.
So it's important to ensure that AI is developed and deployed in a way that is fair, transparent, and accountable.
Right.
We need to be vigilant about identifying and mitigating bias in these systems.
Absolutely.
And we also need to think about the implications of AI for privacy and security.
Privacy and security.
As our homes become smarter and more connected, our personal data could be vulnerable to hacking or misuse.
That's a scary thought.
It's a balancing act between convenience and privacy.
Okay.
We need to make sure that our data is protected as we embrace these new technologies.
What about AI getting too powerful?
And as AI becomes more powerful, we need to have open and honest conversations about its ethical use and ensure that humans retain control over these systems.
So the singularity isn't just a technological event.
It's a societal one.
Exactly. And we need to be prepared for the challenges and opportunities that come with it.
Now let's delve into another mind-bending aspect of the singularity.
Okay, hit me.
Transhumanism.
Transhumanism.
The idea of using technology to enhance human capabilities
Okay.
and overcome our biological limitations.
So we're talking about things like genetic engineering.
Brain-computer interfaces.
Wow.
And even the possibility of uploading our consciousness to a computer.
That sounds like science fiction.
It may sound like science fiction,
Yeah.
but these concepts are becoming increasingly plausible as technology advances.
Wow. And how might transhumanism impact the future of real estate?
It's a fascinating question.
It is.
If humans become less reliant on their physical bodies,
Okay.
our very concept of home could change dramatically.
Like what? What would that look like?
Imagine living in virtual reality environments.
Okay, VR.
Or having our consciousness inhabit robot bodies
Through that body.
that can travel the galaxy.
It's almost impossible to grasp the implications.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's clear that the singularity will challenge our fundamental assumptions
About what?
about what it means to be human
Okay.
and how we relate to our environment.
This has been an incredible journey into the unknown.
It has been, hasn't it?
It's both exhilarating and a little terrifying
It is.
to think about the possibility.
But by engaging with these questions now,
Okay.
we can prepare ourselves
Uh-huh.
and shape a future where technology enhances our lives
Right.
without diminishing our humanity.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the future of real estate,
Okay.
what are some key takeaways for our listeners?
First and foremost,
Okay.
embrace change.
Embrace change.
The singularity is on the horizon,
It is coming.
and the best way to navigate it
Okay.
is to be adaptable, curious, and open-minded.
Don't cling to the past, but be willing to learn new skills.
Explore new possibilities.
Right.
And challenge your assumptions.
And remember that the future isn't something that happens to us.
It's something we create.
We create it.
Let's use our creativity, our compassion, and our ingenuity
Okay.
to shape a world where technology serves humanity
Right.
and helps us reach our full potential.
This has been an incredible exploration of the future of real estate,
It has.
full of insights, surprises, and mind-bending concepts.
Thank you for joining us on this journey.
And for you listening,
Remember, the future is in our hands.
stay curious, stay engaged.
And keep asking the big questions.
Until next time,
Keep exploring.
keep learning.
And keep dreaming big.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Echoes of Insight. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who loves exploring big ideas. Together, let's keep the conversation going. See you next time.